This is the story of how I made a PlayStation 1 puzzle game, including a Pocketstation game. Back in 2013, I wanted to take a break of my regular job and I wanted to achieve some of my dreams. One of them was to create a PS1 game because when I was young, my first video game console was the PS1. I bought it after seeing an ad for Final Fantasy VII. It was awesome, and I bought the PS1 at the beginning of the year 1997 with three games. That was Ridge Racer, Tomb Raider, and Broken Sword. I bought several video games magazines, such as PlayStation Magazine, and in one of them they were talking about this Net Yaroze. It was amazing to me that you could create PlayStation game on your own computer using this console. Unfortunately, it cost way too much money for my young self, but programming and especially game programming have always been my passion since I was 12 years old. And finally, when I began to work and earn some money, I finally bought a Net Yaroze. It was a nice object, very nice, but I quickly realized that this console was limited. Testing your games on this console was very slow due to the serial port that was used to transfer programs from your PC to the console. The CD-ROM was not available for loading extra data such as more graphics or music. And after searching on the internet, I found out that you could actually use a regular PlayStation 1 with the special expansion port, the one that is used by the Action Replay cartridge. There is a special Explorer FX cartridge which integrates a parallel port connector. You might think that all the Action Replay cartridge had such a port, but no. This port required an additional ISA card and was not compatible with the regular PC parallel port. So you had to use this Explorer FX cartridge. You could flash a new ROM inside called the Katla ROM, and this ROM allowed PlayStation development using the PC and the parallel port. At that time, I used this option, but nowadays parallel port on PC are not available anymore. So I'm working on a USB solution, but it's not available yet. I started downloading the official SDK from Sony. It's called PSIQ. It includes libraries and a C compiler. I didn't use open source SDK back then because they were not very stable and lacked several features such as CD-ROM loading or movie player. I made a mini library to simplify the use of the official SDK from Sony, and this allowed me to better understand the hardware of the console too. For example, how the video RAM works. So the video RAM is called the VRAM, and it is where you store all the graphics available for the graphic chips called the GPU, and from there the GPU can generate the final image, that is the screen image that you see on your TV. This screen image is generated from all the graphics parts that are available inside the VRAM. There is a tool called Team Tool that allows you to place and organize all your graphics in the video RAM. The video RAM also contains the screen buffers. There is two buffers, one actually shown on your TV screen and one work buffer, and this buffer is where the image is generated while the front buffer is shown. Once I had figured out the graphics, the sound, the memory card, the gamepad, I began to create a puzzle game because puzzle games are always easier to code. There is not much moving on screen and the gameplay is rather simple. I came up with a simple idea of a little smiley face that would need to collect all the stars from the universe. The constraint being that once he goes in a certain direction, he cannot stop until he will hit a block. I decided to draw these blocks as ice block, and so was born Yopei's Ice Star. I made simple levels with just collecting stars and then I added more interactors like teleports, color change, enemies, and made some more advanced level. I even included a level editor so you can add more levels to the game and be creative. I'm a big PlayStation fan, and as a fan I always wanted to get all the fantasy stuff Sony made for the PlayStation, and that included the Pocketstation. This is an awesome tiny little console on its own, and that also happened to be a PS1 memory card. It's just so cool, a shame that it didn't get outside Japan. So I wanted to make a tiny game for this little Pocketstation, so first I bought a Pocketstation and started looking how to write program for it. I found some source on few Japanese websites, and from this source I made my own SDK library, which is available on my website if you are interested. Finally, I ported the puzzle game Yopaz to this tiny console, but the screen was so tiny, like 32 by 32 pixels. How do you achieve to fit a big puzzle level on this black and white screen? Well, a bit of optimization and creativity. I made the blocks as tiny as I could, only 3 by 3 pixels, and it's enough to distinguish between the stars, the block, and the little Yopaz. Of course, the more advanced level could not be ported. I also used scrolling because the level would be too large for the tiny screen, but I finally succeeded in making the game for the Pocketstation and even fitted all the graphics, the 25 levels, and all the code in only one block of memory card, which is 8 kilobytes by the way. Now you can transfer this game on your Pocketstation from the PlayStation and enjoy playing Yopaz anywhere. The game was released back in 2013 as a limited edition of only 25 copies, but I decided to make a re-edition of the game on my website, and you can pre-order it if you want. Just click on the link below in the description. Of course, you will need a PlayStation 1 with a method to boot CD-R disk, because this is burned disk, since there is no way to actually produce a self-booting PlayStation 1 disc due to the complex anti-piracy method used by Sony. You can either use a mod chip or an auxiliary player with the Uni-ROM or Noob-ROM or no cache ROM, or you can use the new free PS6 boot memory card method. If you don't have a PS1 or an Xstation or PSIO CD-ROM emulator, you can buy the game now on my website as a digital download for the PS1 and play on Linux or Windows. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel to watch my other upcoming videos about how I achieved another of my dreams by making an RPG for the PlayStation 1.